Hello again, welcome back to the Art Club. We're in a city which was, once upon a time, the capital of Italy, Turin, Torino. Well, it no longer holds that privilege, clearly, but it is nonetheless a candidate to host the Winter Olympics in 2006, with its prime position here at the base of the Alps. Well, there's the sports news. Now let's get the art news. French academics have been thrown into heated debate by the popular cartoon character Tintin. France's National Assembly is preparing a February debate on whether or not he was from the political left or the far right. This year is Tintin's 70th birthday, and he continues to sell around 3 million books a year, printed in 58 languages. An unholy row has broken out in Israel over plans to move a famous relic known as the Jesus boat. The move plans to take it from the Sea of Galilee to the Vatican for a Millennium exhibition. It dates back to the 1st century, and experts believe that it was used to ferry supplies across the sea where Jesus was said to have walked on water. Fears are mounting that it'll be damaged during transportation.
I think it's very dangerous because she's like a cheese. If you touch her, she's broken, she's moving, nothing stays.
The Vatican is determined to continue with the plan, even if it does rock the boat. In the middle of the Australian outback, a man has built a castle from empty beer bottles. Joe Reisick and his wife came to Australia from Germany in the 1950s. They immediately set about creating this unique building. With the help of their friends and the local publican, they amassed over 3 million bottles for the outside walls.
Yeah, not just some bottles again. You put the bottles over there.
Joe has even built his own bar as a tribute to the drinkers, who helped him to realize his dream home. Archaeologists in Egypt have unearthed treasures thought to be over 4,000 years old. Wooden statues and a small pyramid of the wife of King Teti were found in the desert near Saqqara.
This discovery proves that you never know what the sand of Egypt might hide of secrets, because these important discoveries will be treasures of the Cairo Museum, and we are going to continue the excavations in a month from now, and I hope that to the direction next door of the pyramid of Queen Khwit, wife of Teti, that we will discover another pyramid.
Artifacts dating back to 1500 BC have also been found, and the continuing excavations are expected to turn up further long-lost treasures. In Japan, the 13,000-year-old tradition of kodo is undergoing a revival. These incense-burning ceremonies are a way of experiencing creative states of mind.
It's kodo, so we have to listen to the incense and imagine various objects and use our recollections to create unique worlds within our imagination.
Cameras have never before been allowed to record the ceremony. Devotees try to listen to the incense rather than just smelling it. They also have a competition to see who can guess the correct smell. The winner receives a handwritten poem. They say that you can never really get lost in Turin. The city's built to a perfect grid plan, just like a giant chessboard. And virtually wherever you go, you can always see one of the city's grand piazzas. So, let's put that to the test now with our cultural tour of Turin's artistic delights. of Turin are based on the design for a traditional Roman fort. It's a grid system, and at first it seems a little confusing. But a short time strolling around the long streets, taking note of the magnificent landmarks, and Turin soon becomes an easy place to understand. Venture into the residential areas, and you'll uncover some rather special galleries. In a gallery named after something as black as carbon, inside, everything is pure white.
Famoso di Tim Hamilton, un giovane artista inglese, è nata circa 3 mesi fa, quando lui venne in Italia.
The exhibition is by Tim Hemington, an English artist. The idea was conceived 3 months ago when he came to Italy and saw my gallery totally white and empty. He was thinking of doing this pure white show to introduce himself to the Italian public. This was the result, an exhibition nearly invisible from the outside, but with astonishing technical skill and quality from an artistic point of view.
A few doors along is Photo & Co., another gallery that favours work by young artists. This is a show by the American photographer Tina Bailey. These are recent and gently ironic portraits of her wealthy friends.
Torino has a tradition of avant-garde friends and to discover new works of young artists in contemporary art. The difference between Milan and Torino should be synthesized in the fact that Torino is much more laboratory of new ideas and Milan much more window of image and advertising.
At the Hyperion Gallery, there's a show by two rather more established artists. The work of the German conceptual artist Joseph Beuys, who died in 1986, features his obsession with clothing and felt. Also on show is the video work of the American Bruce Neumann. His simple performances are absurd and mesmerizing. This cathedral is Turin's only example of Renaissance architecture, and it's the home of something quite special. Turin is, of course, the home of the Turin Shroud, which is an imprint of the face and body of Jesus Christ. Scientists have, however, recently disputed that fact. The trouble is you can't actually find out for yourself because you come all the way to Turin to see it, and all you're allowed to see is a copy. Outrageous. The most unavoidable sight in Turin is the Mole Tower, built by Mole Antonelli in 1863. It was supposed to be a short tower for the local synagogue, but once he started going upwards, they couldn't stop him. They should have known better. 9 years earlier, he was asked to build a nice little house, and that is exactly what he did. In fact, he built the world's thinnest house, nicknamed the Fetta di Polenta, which means slice of polenta. It was his response to a challenge which was made to him to build a house on a narrow strip of land. At the time, it became the tallest building in Turin. It has a surprisingly regal interior, and yet, at its widest end, there's only just enough room for a small window and a narrow sofa, whilst at the other end, the thinnest end, there's just enough room for something a little bit more private. The Mole Tower and the Fetta di Polenta makes Moli Antonelli the most notorious architect in the city of Turin, and the art club's prime choice as this week's Artrageous. That's it from the art club this week and from the bright lights of Turin. Next week we shall be in London to see whether the new neurotic realists really are as new and neurotic as they sound. Until then, bye-bye.